Hello and welcome back. So last time we went through the vampire ritual and I converted myself over to a vampire. And if you look on the left side of my screen, you'll notice I've gone through, I think, 2 of the levels. I believe I'm a level 3 now. I'm not entirely sure. Right now where I'm standing is the site of my first incineration death. I forgot that this window had not yet been converted to glass, and I came up this elevator and discovered that you don't just light on fire when you hit sunlight, you basically just die. All you see is, you basically scream and you're dead. And then I respawned back at our default spawn point because I've been using a sleeping bag recently, which happened to be out in the middle of an open field, and lit on fire again and couldn't make it to a tree before I burst into flames and died. So that was an interesting thing to get back, but what I've done in the meantime is you come back when you're dead with a 0 blood bar filled over there. So while I was refilling that with my villagers, I apparently ticked over into 2 different levels. Now the first one I got when I drained 3 different sleeping villagers down to 50%. And as I did them, I noticed that when they hit 50%, there was a ding in some type of little tone, I'm guessing indicating that they counted towards that. So when I hit my 3rd one, I leveled up. So now I've got, I think that's what gave me the mesmerize ability right here. Yeah, transfix. And then after that, I can't remember what I ended up burning my blood up on, but I was going through villagers again and just magically leveled up again. I'll have to see if I can find my notes because I wrote down what I was doing each time when it happened, so hopefully it's repeatable and kind of go that way. But one thing you'll notice is these little red lamps. I scattered these throughout this base. They're all connected to daylight sensors. So if they receive any form of red light or redstone signal from the daylight sensor, they light up red, reminding me that it is daylight outside and I should not go outside. So you'll kind of see them scattered around. One of the reasons is this one here. This goes up 2, maybe 3 levels and then straight into daylight, so I needed something in here. And I also needed something underground where I built my little lair. That way I would know if it was daylight or not. Let's see, one thing I did find torn pages. I tracked down another end portal, and I raided the library there and didn't find any of them. That was supposed to be one of the places you could find them, was in libraries. So I didn't have any luck there. So what I did here was I gave up and I did a little research here, and it turns out you need this book on you. If you have this book in your inventory when you're killing things, these can drop as a rare drop. And what I ended up doing was I created this little, you can't see it very well, but right there's a zombie spawner. So I created a little spawner so I can kill zombies. That didn't work well. I got 1 page after like 20 minutes of killing zombies. Came in here and killed off some of the villagers that wrong button, can't have that selected. Killed off some of the villagers that I had spawned in here, because as you see, food source. And I got a page. So what I did then was I just spawned this whole room full of villagers and I just killed them all. And ended up with a whole bunch of pages. So it worked fantastic. Let's say 15. It worked great. So now that I've got those, I can take them apparently and craft them with this book, which should give us another page. Yep, there it is right there. So this is the next page. Cities overwhelming. So what I did, I think this one happened when I filled my hunger bar to full. So that gave me 1 level. So if you look at it, you can see that the item ID for the book is now 7049-1. So now we'll put it in here again, and now we've got 7049-2. Skip all the way to the end. Able to transfix, okay. So that's what I did with my mez. Is now able to drink his unity without realizing it as long as he didn't. Okay, so yeah, if you mesmerize them, it's like they're sleeping. You can burn them down to 50%. If you go below 50, it hurts them and they wake up and they run around basically screaming. And this must be where I was when I did mine, because I drained a bunch of them down to 50% and that's when I leveled. So we'll do this again. See what we get. All the way to the end. This is where we were. Following into him, or he drank. Okay, so this must be where I'm at right now. Now I've gone through probably a week of in-game nights, basically drinking down to 50% on a bunch of villagers, and I haven't got this one yet, so I'm not sure how to progress past that point. What I'm actually going to do here. Let's just load this thing up here. Get it all. So that must be it. Dump the rest in here. Now what I did, I built this little system here, that way I could keep my villagers without having to burn up the ones that I wanted to keep. And I created, so they'll spawn in, and if I don't like them, I created a disposal system, which is basically a smeltery. I figured I might as well recycle them into emeralds. I have no idea what I just did, but apparently I just gained a level. Weird. Alright, so apparently I now have speed. Not that you can tell the difference with the draconic pants on, but... Oh. Yeah, one thing is if you hit 1, so it takes me to my pickaxe, I hit 1 again, it takes me to my drink blood, it cycles through those abilities. So every now and then what I end up doing is I forget that I'm on my pickaxe, and out of habit I always hit 1 to take it back to the pickaxe. And I'll go to this, and nothing will happen, because you can't drink blood, you can't transfix, you can't do anything to a lever. So you have to switch that back. And I did make a little room here. I'm not really sure how I like the overabundance of red, but I made it so I could have a little place for the coffin. And the reason I made this is I saw references to a coffin online, so basically I gave up, and I just opened it up in NEI, and it's basically just a bed with some logs around the bottom and planks across the top. Gives you a coffin. This lets you sleep during the day. It's basically the reverse of a bed, so it flips it to night. And that ended up being very important, because you go outside during the day and it gets bad. Luckily I've only done it once, and I kind of learned my lesson on that. So apparently whatever I just did, first night, 5 oblivious souls. Okay, so I think this must be where we're at right now. Now I know through witchery there is a way to create an item that you can leave out in the sun, and it will collect the sunlight. The biggest problem I've had with this is I don't know where this information is actually listed. It just basically tells you about it. I don't know if there's as you're progressing through witchery normally, if there would be a place where it would tell you, hey, if you take this item and you do this to it, it collects sunlight. I'm guessing there's somewhere that tells you that, but otherwise it doesn't seem to be the case. And if I remember right, it was this thing. It's a sun grenade is what you need. And then that, it doesn't tell you how to make that, but it needs this sun collector, which apparently is made this way. And from what I've seen, because I got stuck on that last one when I was looking at it and couldn't figure out how to get through, so I did a little bit of research on how to level, and I found this one is kind of the apparently this is kind of the one that you really want to get to, is level 5, because it gives you a marginal resistance to sunlight. Like, you won't just burst into flames as soon as you walk outside, and this is kind of the step you need to do to get to that. And it's these sun catchers, and they have to be next to a daylight sensor, and you have to have one of these empty grenades in it, which I believe is just a crystal ball. Is it a ball? No. There it is. quartz crystal sphere. So apparently if you put one of these into that sunlight collector next to a daylight sensor and you let it sit there for a day or so, you get a grenade. So I think we're going to make a few of these. Alright, I'm going to... I stuck a little crafting terminal over here because it's a pain to find it otherwise. Yeah, I didn't think so. I think we need a few of these, so might as well err on the side of having too many since I have plenty of quartz. So there's 5 of those. And we need the sun collector. And I am pretty sure... Wow, I actually did have that stuff on hand. Alright, well I don't feel like doing that many times. This is the overflow from my my little grinder system up there. It's attached to a floodgate, which is this little gadget right here, which basically just dumps, every time it reaches a bucket, or 1,000 millibuckets worth of fluid, it just dumps it as a source block into the world. And as you can see, this goes down a ways. So what I've got is it tries to dump it into this ender tank. If it can't, it dumps it into the world. And then I've got 2 pumps feeding off my Tesseract into this thing as well. I use this on some of my backup generators and any of the spawners I have around. Here, actually I don't need that in my hand anymore. And my pattern terminal. So it was a sun collector. Crafting pattern. Alright, so we'll slap this into the ME system. Running out of space. Oh wow, I'm got a bank almost full there. I have no idea what I've picked up in there. So we're going to make 5 of these, because I know I need at least 5 for the grenades. And of course, redstone repeaters. Do I have materials? Let's go back and try this again. Sun collector, 5, and go. Now, in theory, one of these little things, either that or it's done already. I think it's actually finished already. Yep, apparently that was fast. And then, I wanted to say it was daylight sensors. Now I have no idea how these are actually supposed to be set up, so let's pop up here. Wave to our little Golem Guardian squad. It is not daylight. The only drawback to these is if it is light enough outside to produce a single redstone signal, it will set these off. So once it gets down to the point where it is dark enough outside that I can go out, they're still red. Actually, let's just put it right here. This is on top of the dome with the golems in it. So, as far as I understand it, all you need to do is put these things next to a weak-minded blue. Sun, way to collect sunlight. Okay, so it doesn't even tell you how to use these things. That's kind of the lack I'm finding here. Is the only reason I know how to use these is I remember reading it somewhere. So we'll try it out, and I know it. Oh, we need to hurry. They need to be next to daylight sensors, and we're gonna It's cutting a little closer than I want. Okay. Yeah, see, any light level whatsoever. As long as the stars are still out, you're safe, but this will trigger as soon as light starts showing up. And what we're going to do while that's going, drop this back into the ME system and run over here. Now, everything in here was created by one of the other players in the server, with the exception I constructed this for him to gather the components necessary for creating these drives over here, which carry the Essentia. And I set the ME system up for him, then he connected all his Thaumcraft stuff to it. Basically, by splitting this stuff up, we can divide our efforts, which allows us to move around a little more freely and not have to get stuck on any one thing, because he likes the Thaumcraft and I kind of like the Applied Energistics. So I've got my massive ME controller here. This is the largest you can actually get it. Now it could be a cube shape, but I've just got this one flat. I started out originally with this one in the middle and I ran out of channels on it. Got all my individual crafting controllers here. What is this one doing? I wonder if that one's actually crafting something. What is it doing? Not sure if that thing jammed up or what. But yeah, this room is kind of a little mess. I've got my processing here that eventually needs to get moved. I've got my liquid redstone and ender there. A little automatic pure crystal maker. My big reactor, which was my initial power source, but now is, I think it's solely connected. It goes into the core, but I think it's mainly fueling the quarries. So here's the bottom of the controller with my original 8 that I was using. This yellow cable is the infrastructure for my entire base. So if I need a network somewhere, yellow cable gets run, and I pull it off using point-to-point tunnels. It was a little easier. Split it up a little bit. My storage arrays for things I don't want in drives. And yeah, this is just built with it's a standard kind of a sub-network. So we've got the primary network comes in right here, hits a storage bus. That storage bus is connected to an interface, which means it has access to anything on the other side of it. And on the other side of it is a network with 6 components. I think this one's a little longer, with storage buses connected in. So I've got a barrel here of blue slime, and this is telling it blue slime goes in here. The normal pattern is for each of the sub-networks, you've got an interface which is connected to, so it kind of flows in. So you've got your interface, you've got 6 things, so 6 storage devices, and then the very last thing is a storage bus which links into the next one. So they kind of daisy chain together, which gives you 8 on a single channel, which is all you can carry on one of these cables. Works out pretty good. I think there's a nicer way to do this, but this just converts lead, copper, and tin? Is it tin? Yeah, tin. Into very specific ones, because it'll use the Aura dictionary when it comes in, and it will convert it to whatever's locked into it. So this converts all my metals into the thermal expansion materials. A little easier to deal with. Then I have all my patterns built using a single metal as opposed to like Railcraft or Tinkers or whatever. This is the input for my quarry, primarily powered off my steam turbine test upstairs. This is where I'm draining the nether to, which is into this tesseract, and it goes into this tank so I can use it elsewhere if I want it, which feeds into my smeltery, which is taking any of these materials and any of these materials, dumping them in here, feeding them directly into the smelter, melting them down into their metal, and then cubing them, which then goes back into my ME system. This is my little array of repair drones. They basically just look above them, they grab an item, they craft it together with another one of that item, and they spit it out in the bottom. So this one is doing bows. It's the way of dealing with the overflow from my my farms. Otherwise, tons of just junk. And as you can see, it works pretty well. I was originally breaking it all down into bars, but it gets ridiculous, so I'm just leaving it in blocks. So that's kind of what it's doing is over there. This is the other area where I'm using mob essence with these reactant dynamos, feeding them gunpowder from the mob farm and then essence from the mob farm. And these guys produce ADR FATIC, so they're kind of like my oh crap backup power system. They're currently disconnected. Alright, let's go take a look at the lights now that I've jabbered on for a little bit and see, is it still horrible burny death outside or not? It is! Yay! I can't just flip it to night because I need them to stay there. And you can see they're yellow up there a little bit. Alright, I'm going to wander the day away until it's night, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look and see what those things are doing. And we're back, and the sun is going down. It's amazing how long it takes for the sun to go down when you're sitting here waiting for it. So as soon as the stars come out a little more, I really don't want to incinerate myself, so I'm going to wait for it to go down a little more. Basically, when it gets to the point where you wouldn't see skeletons or zombies outside burning, it's safe for you. So we should be safe now. Let's find out. And not dead. Alright, good. Alright, so what have we got? We've right click and a sun grenade. It just sounds like a pleasant thing, doesn't it? So we've got 5 of them. Because let's take a look here. Weak-minded. Nope, not that one. Nope. Okay, first walk. Okay. Obsession, found the way to collect sunlight and burned himself with it 10 times. Ooh, I need more. Oh, that sucks. Alright. Okay, so I didn't read that part. Alright, so I'm going to go craft 5 more of those things, flip it today using a bed after I get them in place, and let them charge up, and I'll be back once I've got 10. Alright, so it's been 2, maybe 3 in-game days. And yeah, you can see my little collection of villagers here who had amusing trades. For anybody who does make a coffin, if you hold shift right click, you can close it, you can open it. They appear to place with the open side to your right. So if I was to place this one down right now, it will open this way. And to place this one so it opened the other way, I basically had to be hovering over it. What I'm going to do now is it's still day out. So we're going to sleep. The interesting thing is this doesn't kick the Morpheus mod over, which is the one that does voting for sleep. It doesn't give any indication of it whatsoever, and it doesn't look like it cares if there's only one person. So we'll have to see. And then let's go over here. We can just take the elevator straight up from here. That's not an elevator. Yeah, I have no idea what was wrong with that Certus course, or Fluus Crystal Creation. I ended up killing the job. I think it jammed up when the server rebooted. Alright, black light. And I'm not dead. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay. Okay, now according to the book, all I need to do is fry myself with these things. So I'm going to go eat a villager real quick so I get my blood up to full. Now, I don't know if you need to do this outside or if it's just a matter of doing it with the grenade. So maybe we'll try it down here. Need a villager. And wait for him to go to sleep. Even if the other ones are standing next to you watching, they don't care. So it's like they don't like this guy. Go ahead. Better him than me. Down to 50%. Next, we don't care, so. Not that I need it, but you know. A vampire, that's what they do. And dead. And the Elvis one. He's annoying. Okay, grenades. 10 grenades. I get the feeling this is gonna not be fun. Oh look, I'm on fire. I'm guessing it says burn yourself 10 times, so yeah. And I'm blind. That's kind of neat. Oh, so you get the quartz sphere back. I'm gonna wait for blindness. Okay, good. Blindness is gone. So that was 1. And 2. I'm curious if the witch hunters, when they spawn, if they ever do, because I haven't seen any of them yet. I don't know if that's because of the magnum torch I have here. But I'm curious if they would use these. Because I know from what I've seen about the witch hunters, they use the appropriate weapon. So werewolves, they use silver. For vampires, they use probably fire bolts of some kind, because since, fire's bad. The only reason I'm not getting thoroughly baked right now is I think this runic shielding ring helps quite a bit. And again. And we go. I'd be curious to know if you could use them all at once, but I'm betting you can't. I'm betting it has to be burned by each individual one. Looks like 10 seconds of blindness after each one. And that was number 5. I'm wondering for level 4, when I got it by pushing that villager into the smeltery by mistake, or by, on purpose. I'm wondering if I couldn't get level 4 when I was trying the other times because I didn't have it opened in the book. I'm wondering if that book is kind of a key. If you can't, like maybe I can't progress to level 5 even if I had the materials because, if I didn't have it opened. Unfortunately, I've opened them all up, so I can't try it. But it'd be something I'd be curious to know is whether or not you actually have to have this book opened up to the appropriate level, giving you that information before you can do it. So you couldn't just turn yourself into a vampire and then use the information from the internet and go, whoosh up to level 10. But, well, I've got a full book now, so it doesn't matter. 3 more left. It really doesn't take all that long. I did try it out. I took all my armor off. I took all my protective rings off, and I had the other player hit me with a sword. I didn't even realize. I asked him to shoot me with his crossbow, and I heard the crossbow firing. And I'm looking around, going, is his aim that bad? Is he missing? I didn't see the bolts anywhere. And then I look, and I got arrows stuck in me. He was shooting me, and it wasn't even registering his damage at all. Right now, if I'm out and about and a critter attacks me, the only reason I can see visible damage happen is they hit my runic shielding, it's kind of interesting. And then, of course, you light yourself on fire, and your hit points plummet, because fire is bad. Although that's kind of a given generic thing. Usually, fire is bad. Okay, so this is going to be our last one. Let's see if this does it. Let's see if we read that book correctly. And last one. So assuming this works, almost. Apparently that's it. So now I've got those. I'm going to pitch those back in the ME system. What? I thought you were dead. They slide around when they're on these beds. It's really annoying because you have to be so close. So let's fill back up to full. And dispose of lunch. Okay. So now we're level 5. So in theory, when it becomes daylight out, I should be able to step outside and not immediately burst. From my understanding, what will end up happening is as soon as I get into the sunlight, it will quickly start shredding through the blood I have in my pool. And once that blood's gone, poof, fire, ashes, dead. But until then, that might give you enough time where, with my elevators, if I popped up and went, oh crap, it's still daytime, I could drop back down without immediately, like this one, as soon as I hit this location here, I was dead. I didn't even have time to remember that glass was out until after I was dead. And one thing I need to look at our server's config files for is as soon as I died, I didn't get a respawn option. It immediately respawned me at our spawn point. I'd like to get that option on my screen that says, would you like to respawn? Because, if I do that and I know I haven't reset my spawn or I've broken my bed or something, I'd rather go, okay, I'm just going to wait until night and then I'll respawn. That way it doesn't force me back in the day and immediately light me on fire again. All right, let's take a look here. So that's level 5. Okay, level 5. Okay, needed... First, after his first walk in the sun. Okay, so this is telling me what I did. This is telling me what it gave me. So this is telling me I can walk in the sun now. More strength. Strength in extinguishing creatures of pure fire with his... was his solution. 20 died. Okay, so I gotta kill 20 of something that's pure fire. The only creature I know that matches that is going to be a blaze. It's the only thing I know that's pure fire. I mean, I guess a magma cube maybe, but they don't really burn. So in theory, those guys are what I need. Already got them fueling my blaze rod supply in case I ever need it. So let's go. Let's just do cobble. So in theory, what I should be able to do... This thing never works right. Blaze has taken an insanely high light level to shut off, and I don't feel like dumping lava on it in the entire room to get it. So what I did was I put... I think there's 8 drawbridges of glowstone up there, and it's enough to slow them down. So what we should be able to do... That will prevent them from dying on the spikes. That will let me kill them. And that will spawn them. Let's find out. Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to count them because they're going to pile up. Okay. That had to be at least 5. Eventually I want to upgrade those spawners to the draconic ones, but getting souls. When I slaughtered, I think I killed, no, slaughtered is better, maybe 20, 30 plus villagers. I got 1 villager soul. So it's not something that you get quickly from using this sword to kill things. Let's... Wrong option, sound. Let's turn that down because I have no idea how loud it is and I don't feel like doing this twice. Oh, that's what's happening. Nuts. Where are you getting your power from? There it is. Ugh. I'm going to break that. Those cables are a pain in the butt to put back. Let's just see if we can lever it off. Who knows if those 5 I killed actually counted. Can we... Oh, that's awesome. Never tried that before. Oh, those guys are irritatingly loud. Options. Let's go... Nope, that's not it. You know what? Done. Okay, so now they'll pile up. I have no... That's a neat hat. So let's just kill them. Hey, there we go. So I must have been 20 total. Or somewhere in that neighborhood. So now what we should be able to do... Quickly, before they spawn, shoot me, light me on fire, which is bad. Go in here. Click. And it starts producing again. Okay. The step assist from these boots. I bounce off things so often. Let's go back in here. Sound, I think it was like 35% or something like that. There. Okay, so now we're level 5. I think. No, wait. Level 6? 6, 2, 3. I have no idea how to tell what level you are from the number of blood pips you have, because I thought we started out... Oh no, we started out with 3, so that would make sense. Or did we start out with 2? Maybe we started out with 2 and everyone beyond that's a level. That would make sense. Alright, we're going to run back over here. I put the villagers down below this place because, you know, with the dark sense of humor, it made sense that they're kind of like cattle for a vampire. So they went in our livestock dome, which we're not really using for much right now anyways. But let's see. So what we're going to do... Daylight. Okay, so these guys are not going to sleep. So this is, let's just do this here. So transfix. So you just highlight that and right click, and then he will just sit there and let you do this. Oops, too far. I like you anyways. Need one more. There. No, I don't need any of you. I would like to make it so they fall in automatically, but it doesn't work. Because I kind of like having that rim around the edge. Okay, and then come down here. Yeah, see, we've got, you have to have something in here to melt them. So I was trying to use liquid blood in my design for the room there, but it debuffs you and poisons you if you step in it, so not fun. I had liquid gold in here, which is what I was melting them with, because it looks kind of neat. So if you put the blood on the bottom, and then you come over here, close our little carpenter's trap door. See, it just looks neat, you know, boiling, seems kind of fun, you know, kill them in gold. Alright, let's see our book. Go until we see the cage, because that's not where we're at yet. Okay, so this is what we just did. We killed the blazes, which is our fire critter. Could smash solid stone. Okay, that sounds kind of neat. How does that work? Right click? No. Shift right click? Shift. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of neat. Okay, so if you hold shift and left click like you would normally mine, you can punch through stone. That's interesting. Okay, that's kind of neat. I don't know if it's, you know, useful now given the tools we've got right now. Smash you stone, but bound to the earth. However fast he was still limited. He called on her. Okay, the only her we know of so far is going to be Lilith. Repeating the okay, yep, repeating the right. And okay, so give her a flower. Alright, so I learned something new today. Apparently, I am terrible at telling time. This video, instead of being in the 20 to 30 minute range, is in the hour and some change range. So I'm going to be splitting the video right after we get level 6, and then I'm going to be splitting the next half into the, I guess it'll be episode number 5, I believe, and we're just going to kind of pick up there. So I'm basically just going to cut it in the middle and then move on from there. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you for watching.